I'm Kaylee, and these are the books that I'm going to be reading for Jane Austen July. I am really excited for Jane Austen July this year. I know I say that every year, but it's true every year. A whole month all about Jane Austen? Yes, please. I need more of that in my life every year. Jane Austen July is hosted by Katie at Books and Things and Claudia from Spinster's Library and Marissa from Blatantly Bookish. So I will leave a link to their announcement videos and their channels down in the description. So of course, if you want to know more about Jane Austen July and all the challenges and the read-alongs and the cool things, then you should absolutely go over and check it out on their channels. We have 7 challenges, and this year I think I'm actually going to try to do all the challenges. Aha! I don't always do them all, but this year I think I've got it worked out to where I am. Challenge number 1 is to read one of Jane Austen's main 6 novels. This year I'm going to reread Pride and Prejudice. It's been a while since I've reread this one. I don't know, I've reread Mansfield Park and Northanger Abbey and Emma, and I can't remember when's the last time I read Sense and Sensibility, but I know it's been a while since I've reread Pride and Prejudice, so it is definitely time. Pride and Prejudice is also one of the read-alongs that the hosts are doing, so I'm probably going to be reading right along with them. Challenge number 2 is to read something of Jane Austen's that is not one of her main 6 novels. So her juvenilia or letters or one of her unfinished novels or novellas or something. I am going to be reading Lady Susan. I don't know how I have lived this long and been this much of a Jane Austen fan, and I have never read Lady Susan. How is that possible? So this is finally the year I am reading Lady Susan. And funnily enough, Lady Susan is the other read-along that the hosts are doing. I did not plan it that way, but it's kismet. It's Jane Austen serendipity. Of course, the books that I was already going to choose are the read-along books. Things are just working out so perfectly for me this year. Challenge number 3 is to read a nonfiction work about Jane Austen or her time. I'm going to read a dab of Dickens and a touch of Twain. These are anecdotes and little biographies of literary figures. It says literary lives from Shakespeare's Old England to Frost's New England. And of course, Jane Austen is included in that group, along with many contemporary authors of hers. So I'm going to be really excited to dive into that and learn some more about some of my favorite classic authors. Challenge number 4 is the one where, I'm being a readathon rebel. Every readathon that I've ever participated in, I have something that I do that's not quite the right thing, and I have to rebel against the rules or the challenges, or I just kind of sneak in something that doesn't really fit the challenge, but I pretend like it fits. So number 4 is my rebellious challenge. It says to read a retelling of a Jane Austen book or a work of historical fiction set in Jane Austen's time. So I'm gonna pretend like Lover's Vows fits this criteria, which it kind of doesn't. Lover's Vows is the play that is featured in Jane Austen's novel Mansfield Park. The characters in Mansfield Park decide to put on a play, and that the play that they choose is kind of racy and inappropriate. And that play is Lover's Vows. Last year or the year before, whenever it was that I was reading Mansfield Park, I said, ooh, next year I'm going to read Lover's Vows and then get some background for the Mansfield Park and the stuff. So this is that year, and I'm going to read Lover's Vows, and I'm going to make it fit one of the challenges if it kills me. Really, it would fit better with the challenge number 5, which is to read a book by a contemporary author of Jane Austen's, but I already have a book picked out for that. I already have another book that I want to do for challenge 5. So Lover's Vows is going to get shoved into, we're going to pretend like it fits with challenge 4. And challenge 5 is going to be a reread of Children of the New Forest by Captain Frederick Marryat. This dovetails perfectly with my nieces choosing my TBR for this year. If you haven't seen this video, I will link it up above and down below so you can see my little nieces, 3 and 5 years old, picked out books that now I have to read. They picked out my TBR, and one of them was Children of the New Forest, which dovetails perfectly with Jane Austen July, so that I can check off those challenges and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So we're making it work. Challenge number 6 is to watch a direct screen adaptation of one of Jane Austen's novels. It has been a while since I've watched the Colin Firth Pride and Prejudice. I mean, it's been like a decade, and it's my favorite Pride and Prejudice. Like, it's one of my absolute favorite adaptations of any of Jane Austen's works. And I mean, with good reason. It's at the top of a lot of people's lists. It is well beloved for a very good reason, that it's really, really good. And I think maybe that's why I don't rewatch it that often, is because I get so immersed into it. I want to call in sick to work so I can stay home and watch Pride and Prejudice. It's just so good that I will ignore the rest of my life so that I can sit and watch it. Challenge number 7 is to watch a modern screen adaptation or retelling of a Jane Austen book. And every year for Jane Austen July, I watch the exact same movie for this challenge. It's Clueless, which is a loose retelling of Emma. Emma is my favorite Jane Austen book, and Clueless is just such a timeless classic of a movie. I don't know why I love it so much. Maybe because the characters in Clueless are just such the total opposite from me and my actual life. And so there's something in me where like opposites attract, and I love following Cher and all her insanity. And that is my TBR for Jane Austen July. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know, what are you planning to read for Jane Austen July? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.